All right, good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here. It's a meeting of the Mayor and Council of Princeton, New Jersey. It is June 24th, 2024. Could we have the meeting statement, please?
Adequate notice of this meeting was provided in accordance with the requirements of the Open Public Meetings Act, including the time, date, and location of the meeting. In addition, the agenda and all related materials were posted electronically and made available to the public on Princeton's meeting portal in advance of the meeting.
Thank you very much. I'll do the land acknowledgement. We gather today on the land of the Lenni Lenape. As members of the Princeton community, we aspire to show appreciation, respect, and concern for all peoples and our environment. We honor the Lenape and other indigenous caretakers of these lands and waters, the elders who lived here before, the indigenous today, and the generations to come. Can we have roll call, please?
Ms. Perone-Lambros?
Here.
Ms. Niedergang?
Here.
Mr. Cohen?
Here.
Ms. Sachs?
Here.
Ms. Fraga?
Here.
Mr. Newland?
Here.
Mayor Frida?
Here.
You have quorum.
Thank you. If you'd like to rise and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, thank you. All right, and we get to start off the meeting with a proclamation, and Eve is going to read the proclamation for us.
It's my honor to do this. Proclamation honoring Mark DePaza on the occasion of his retirement. Whereas the municipality of Princeton is proud to recognize Mark DePaza, Information Technology Support Specialist, for his dedication to public service on the occasion of his retirement. And whereas Mark began his career with the municipality of Princeton on June 19, 2019, in the role of Information Technology Support Specialist. And whereas Mark worked as an Information Technology Support Specialist for over 5 years and displayed excellence in all aspects of his performance in that role. And whereas, as the municipality's technology systems has evolved, Mark has been instrumental in ensuring that emerging technologies are managed effectively thanks to his vigor for extending his skill set to meet new challenges. And whereas Mark is a lover of all music with a special fondness for the band Hot Tuna. Woo! And he will continue to expand his collection of special albums, as well as attend many live shows with his partner, Pam. Mark is also a passionate fan of auto racing, and he is looking forward to revisiting his favorite speedways in and around New Jersey this season. And whereas Mark's retirement from the municipality of Princeton will be effective July 1, 2024, and whereas Mark DePaza has served the community of Princeton with pride for over 5 years, and upon the occasion of his retirement is deserving of recognition and the highest commendation. Now, therefore, be it resolved, down there, Mark Frida, Mayor of Princeton, and the Council of Princeton, County of Mercer, State of New Jersey, extend the municipality's humble expression of appreciation and sincerest congratulations to Mark DePaza. We offer our best wishes for a long, happy, and healthy retirement. Woo!
Thanks, Eve. Thanks very much.
Do you want me in the photo?
Oh, sure.
Okay. Do you want to share any words?
Thanks. It's very, very humbling, and I just want to make sure that I thank the people I grew into this role with. Terrence, God bless him, Phil, Josh Dill, one of our R&D consultants and all the great people that have allowed me to be who I am and achieve goals to make sure that Princeton, functions properly. And I have nothing else to say. I'm overwhelmed. Thanks very much. I greatly appreciate it, and I was happy to work with all you folks for 5 years. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, next up are announcements and reports. Council members with any announcements are Eve?
Just very briefly, I want to report that I went this past Tuesday to Summit to visit their microforest, which is something Princeton is also embarking on, one of our goals for 2024. And our open space manager, Inga Reich, and the head of PEC, Ann Soch, and the head of the Shade Tree Commission, Sharon Ainsworth, also came. And it was a very useful visit, seeing where they were about 2.5 years into the process. And there are some real takeaways that we all have for the next steps in our development of our own microforest. So just wanted to update folks on that.
Thank
Thanks.
you very much. Other council members that have any announcements or reports? Leticia?
Just very quick, that I'm just very thrilled to report on the work of the new advisory committee on health, affordable housing, long name, social equity, racial, social, and economic equity. They had their first meeting last week. I know they had, not counting their reorg meeting, but the first actual meeting when they started discussing what their goals and actions they were going to take. And just the, I think even staff was very impressed and happy with just the group dynamics of who we brought together to work on this. Very engaged, and we're all excited about what work we already anticipate that's going to be coming out of this committee.
Leighton?
Thank you, Mayor. On Saturday, June 29th, between 9 a.m. and 2 p.m., there will be, for all the good citizens of Princeton, the opportunity to build community and to save lives through the giving of blood. The event will be held at the Paul Robeson Arts Council of Princeton. I am asking, no, I am begging you to help get this critically important word out to the community, Richard Ryan, to the community, so that the Arts Council is fully packed from the morning until the afternoon with life-giving support for those who need the life-saving and sustaining gift of blood. Thank you.
Thank you. Other council reports or announcements? Okay, great. Lieutenant, I think you're here to give us the police department report for the month of May.
Yes, sir. In the month of May, we concluded our recruitment for new officers by attending multiple different police academies, colleges, and universities in the area. And we were able to open our hiring process at first only to PTC certified trained police officers, and eventually it is now currently open to all applicants that meet the requirements, in hopes of filling some positions over the next year due to retirements. Next, I'd like to thank Lieutenant Solovey and Sergeant Federico for completing the second annual Citizens Police Academy. Councilwoman Niedergang was one of the attendees. I know that we've gotten good feedback from everybody. It is something that we do look to do on an annual basis. I know that Councilwoman Fraga attended last year. We appreciate that and hope to see some other members in the future. Our Safe Neighborhoods unit, throughout the course of May, completed many community outreach details at the elementary schools, such as the Riverside Walk and Bike to School Day, school evacuation drills, station house tours for many of the local children. And last, and one of the most important things for us, May was known as Mental Health Awareness Month. As such, we were able to send several of our officers to the Crisis Intervention Training School so that our officers, especially our newer officers, have the ability to deal and know how to handle situations for our local members of our community that are in a mental health crisis. That's one of the most important trainings that we could go to, and unfortunately it's a far more frequent call that we get, but with the right training we hope to make sure that we can end these and make sure that people get the proper care that they need. And that's all I have, sir.
Thank you. Any council, David?
I just, in glancing through the report, noticed that the calls for police service over the last couple of months have been up significantly, not just over earlier in the year, but over prior years. And I was thinking about it, and it occurred to me it could be a positive thing or a negative thing. Right? It could be that there are more incidents happening, more need for police intervention, but it could also be that the community is feeling comfortable calling the police because of the good relationship that you guys have engendered with the community. And I'd like to know if you have any thoughts one way or the other.
It's definitely something that we have been reached out to by a lot of the members of, in this case, the reason that our numbers are up. We were contacted by members of the stores in the Central Business District. A lot of them, due to some crimes in the area, have had concerns, especially at night, in break-ins and things like that. And we've had some more higher-end stores come into town. So we have been doing more self-initiated checks at 24 hours a day, especially throughout the entire night. We now require that there's always one police car within our Central Business District at all times. We also require at least 2 times an hour that our officers are checking on a bunch of the local businesses to make sure that they're, whether the doors are locked or anything like that. And we have found some buildings unlocked and had to make those unfortunate calls to some of the business owners, but in the long run, they were happy that we were contacting them at 2 o'clock in the morning, but they were as happy as one could be at getting a phone call at 2 a.m.
Great, thank you.
Any other questions? Thank you, Lieutenant. Any staff reports down at the table? No? Okay. All right, Isaac isn't here. Any comments from the public for items not on the agenda? Anybody in the room? Sure, just, come on up, state your name and address, and you have the 3 minutes to
Sure.
talk.
So my name is Priyavrata Hota, and I see that you have an approval of transportation study in agenda today, so I wanted to talk about that a little bit. So first of all, thanks for recognizing that the existing public transportation and the bus system has limitations and it's not serving what it's supposed to do. Most of the times the buses are empty and they run in an 1-hour schedule, Muni Transit and NJ Transit both. So I would like this opportunity to draw your attention to something I have used earlier, like it's called Via in Jersey City. It has been, it's a municipal run on-demand app-based public service. It uses transit tech software from Via, which puts multiple riders heading in the same direction on a minivan for $2 to $3 per ride for them, so which is the same cost as what NJ Transit does. So for example, if 5 people are heading towards Farmers Market at 10 a.m. from Little Brook area, the Via can pick them up from some locations. Like you don't, it doesn't come to your doorstep, but it picks you up from street corner or something, and 5 people are going in one minivan rather than driving 5 cars and trying to find 5 parking spots in this thing. So they have very interesting stats about the success of this service. Like, it has been running since 2020. 60% rides were served to low-income members of the community. 85% of the rides on Via were served for essential purposes, that's like medical visits, and mostly to the transit hubs, Journal Square being the most important one. Many people travel there. So lots of interesting matrices are available on their website. They published it last year. So I suggest the council member to maybe reach out to Barkha Patel, who is the Director of Department of Infrastructure, or Mayor Fulop. I don't know how busy he is as of now, but like it doesn't hurt. So how they implemented it and how they funded it, and which might be a better solution for us in our community, where we are in a 2 to 3 mile radius and many people are going to the same direction most of the times. So that's all from my side, and thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I just wanted to let you know we've met with VIA many times, and I know Barkha, and I've spoken with her, and unfortunately we don't have the financial resources or the logistics that Jersey City does. But when VIA brings their prices down, maybe we'll be able to implement that. Just to get their software is a $1 million price point, just to get on the playing field. But we are very aware of some of the micro-mobility options that other municipalities in Princeton, in New Jersey have taken advantage of, and we hope to move in that direction. So thank you so much for coming out.
Anyone else in the room for? Okay. Anyone online? All right. Seeing no one else, we'll close that part of the meeting. And now we have a public hearing on ordinance 2024-28, an ordinance of the municipality of Princeton regarding floodplain management and amending Chapter 14A of the Code of the Borough of Princeton, New Jersey, 1974. Would someone, Eve, thank you. Would someone second that, please? Thank you, David. Okay, council questions or discussion? Eve?
I think I asked this same question when we introduced the previous ordinance, but I think it's another 37 parcels, 39 buildings that are now in the floodplain. Will we be notifying those individuals, or is there somehow they will find out about this prior to a flood hitting them? I don't know what the standard policy is.
I don't have an answer for that, but I can find the answer for you.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay. Other questions or comments? None other from council? Any public comment? Anybody in the room or anybody online? Okay, seeing none, we'll close the public hearing and roll call vote, please.
Ms. Perron-Lambros?
Yes.
Ms. Niedergang?
Yes.
Mr. Cohen?
Yes.
Ms. Sachs?
Yes.
Ms. Fraga?
Yes.
Mr. Newland?
Yes.
Carried.
Thank you. All right, going on to resolutions. 24-185, resolution of the Mayor and Council of Princeton authorizing the award of a professional services agreement to Arcadis US Inc. for design and bid phase services in connection with 6 pump station upgrades for $1,122,600. Eve, thank you. Is that, oh, sorry, Mia's got the second. Any questions or suggestions? No, questions or whatever, sorry. Eve.
I just want to set a little bit of the context for this and also the next resolution. This is part of ours, I think the memo said, our 10-year, $9 million a year commitment to upgrading our sewer system, which has hidden infrastructure, doesn't always get a lot of attention, but which really needs some work and has been ignored for far too long. So it's exciting to see the pump stations as part of what's rolling out this year, along with the next mini system project, which will be coming along too. So, and I just want to thank our sewer engineer, Andrew Philippi, who will be departing Princeton shortly, and sadly, but he's really been instrumental in carrying the sewer construction plan, both in terms of engineering and financing forward, and really been a leader in that. So just wanted to note that I think we all share our appreciation for his work.
Okay, thank you. David?
Yeah, and I just wanted to emphasize also, since this is one of my areas of pet peeve, that this is important not just as deferred maintenance, but also as a response to climate change. We need, these pump stations, as you would think, are in low-lying areas in the town because the sewage flows down to them before it needs to be pumped to the sewer processing plant. And with rising occurrence of flooding, these locations are particularly vulnerable, and therefore it's particularly important to avoid contamination of the environment and so forth, to essentially flood-proof the pump stations. And so I wanted to make sure everyone realizes this is a real climate change sustainability expense.
Thank you. Any other comments or questions? Okay, all in favor? Sorry? Oh, I'm sorry, Leighton.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. Yeah, I just wanted to take the opportunity also to thank Andrew for the work that he's done since he's been here. It's not sexy, but it's damn important. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, anybody else? All right, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
24-186, resolution of the mayor and council of Princeton authorizing the award of a professional services agreement to Johnson, Mirmoran, and Thompson, Inc. for documentation of maintenance holes in flood hazard areas for $45,530.88. Eve has the motion. Leighton's got the second. Questions or comments? All right, seeing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
24-187, resolution of the mayor and council of Princeton authorizing the award of a contract to General Sales Administration, trading as Major Police Supply, for a police car uplift for $71,144.04, utilizing New Jersey State Contract 17-FLEET-00760, law enforcement firearms equipment and supplies. Leticia's got the motion, Leighton's got the second. Questions or comments? I see none. All in favor, please say aye.
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 24-188, resolution of the mayor and council of Princeton approving a Chapter 159 special budget item, Princeton Area Community Foundation, $199,460. Is there a motion on that? Thank you, Mia. David's got the second. Questions or comments? Mia, then we'll work our way around.
Yeah, I just want to clarify, I think it was reported today that this was a grant from the Princeton Area Community Foundation. That is simply the holding body for this money, which stems from a 2011 memorandum of understanding between the municipality and the university. And the funds are part of what is known as the Transit Trust Fund, which met last week. Thank you for meeting to approve these funds. So that is where the monies are, the source of the funding. So I just want to clarify that.
Yeah, I think part of the confusion comes from the fact that even though anyone that has money at the Princeton Area Community Foundation, even when you take the money out yourself, the foundation calls it a grant. So if somebody not paying attention would obviously mistake that for not being quite what it is. But I think, David, you had your hand up?
I did, but Mia already answered my question, so thank
Okay,
you.
very good. Was there any other hands up? No? Okay. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Next up, related to that, 24-189, resolution of the mayor and council of Princeton authorizing the award of a professional services agreement to Nelson Nygaard Consulting Associates, Inc. for a comprehensive community transit program study for $199,460. Mia has the motion. Michelle has the second. Questions or comments? Mia?
Yeah, I just wanted to thank a number of people who've been involved with this. This goes back, this has been in the works for quite a few years, going back to when Eve was a liaison to the Transit Committee. Thank you, Eve. Eve and Dozier Hammond were originally working on this comprehensive transit study plan, big picture, and subsequently I've been working with the Transit Committee as liaison and with Nat Bodigheimer as the chair, who's done a tremendous amount of work on this. And I just wanted to thank the members of the Transit Committee who have reviewed this, and also Sustainable Princeton, who has contributed to this, to the resident who came to talk about micromobility. One of the things that will be looked at in this study is how Princeton might be able to more cost-effectively embark on a micromobility program. And we are going to be looking at how our routes can more effectively connect people to the places where they want to go, and so that we don't have empty buses and they're not just riding around every hour. And that's what this is going to do. So a lot of that was the perfect commentary that you raised, because that's what this study is really going to be looking to correct. And we are looking forward to hearing the results from Nelson Nygaard, which will be implemented next year.
Thank you. Other comments or questions? All right, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
24-190, resolution of the Mayor and Council of Princeton authorizing the submittal of a fiscal year 2025 New Jersey Department of Transportation Municipal Aid Grant application, MA 2025-Princeton-00018, and execution of a grant contract with the New Jersey Department of Transportation. Would someone move that? Thank you, Eve. Mia's got the second. Questions or comments? David.
I just would like to ask that somebody speak to exactly what this grant is for. It wasn't in the agenda packet that I was reviewing. It may have been a late edition, but
Deanna can speak to that, I
Sure.
think.
The Department of Transportation has an annual municipal aid grant program. And so this year, we are submitting a grant application to improve Harrison Street. As you are aware, we have a corridor study that's underway right now, and we are looking to move that forward to a council meeting in the near future. But we also have an outstanding need to do some pavement repair on Harrison Street between Nassau and Franklin. So the thinking is to move ahead with a project to resurface that area, update sidewalks, actually widen the sidewalks, narrow the travel lanes, because we do have crash history, mainly due, I think, from speeding vehicles. So a lot of the work will be pedestrian safety and traffic calming. But we can wrap it all up into this grant application. We'll be notified by November as to whether or not we get a grant, but I think it's pretty safe to say we've gotten a grant every year through this program. And so with pedestrian safety as the focus, that gets a higher priority by DOT. So that's what this project is for.
thanks.
Thanks, Deanna. Any other questions or comments? All right, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
24-191, resolution of the Mayor and Council of Princeton authorizing the award of a professional services agreement for the 2024 Community Development Block Grant Dental Care Program to Lake Atoll DDS PC for an amount not to exceed $17,014.80. Thank you, Leticia. Is there a second? Thank you, David. Questions or comments? All right, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
24-192, resolution of the Mayor and Council of Princeton authorizing the award of a professional services agreement for the 2024 Community Development Block Grant Vision Care Program to Alma Jacobson, OD, Family Eye Care, and Contact Lenses, LLC, for an amount not to exceed $11,343.20. Thank you, Leticia. Is there a second? Thank you, Leighton. Questions or comments? Eve.
Yeah, I just want, Leticia might be a better person to speak to this, but I just want to say how wonderful it is to see this money being dedicated again to these services because it's a relatively new thing, I think, starting in, was it 23 or 22, that we've been able to provide. Well, why don't you take it
No,
away, Leticia?
And actually, I would love for Jeff to share the numbers, which he shared with us earlier, to Leighton and I earlier today. Was it today or yesterday? Because I just was telling him before the meeting started how thrilled I was to see that we're continuing this, because I know this is a program that has impacted individuals who might not otherwise have access to these services. And so these are really true life-changing, life-changing service that we're providing.
Yeah, just to add to that, in terms of numbers, in 2023, dental saw 16 visitors, and for vision care, there's 39. And of those, almost 50%, this is the first time they'd ever visited an ophthalmologist or a dentist. So that's life-changing. And then what we do is we make sure that they have consistent care after that. So a lot of times this is their first visit, and then they get continued care after that. This started as a result of CDBG funds needing to be dedicated to COVID-affected patients, and in this case, it was a result of people not getting primary care as a result of COVID, and because of the success of the program, and honestly, two great providers, the program's success just continues. So,
David.
So I'd just like to ask, I mean, how are the numbers arrived at? Not that I have any problem with them, but the amount that we're paying to these providers, is it a flat rate no matter how many people they see, or is it an estimated maximum that could be increased if need be, or what?
yeah, so it's a great question. It's a fee for service, so based upon the contract, you'll see services broken down by relatively competitive prices for what they are. What happens is based upon the need, they will bill us accordingly. If the funds aren't used, we'll roll it over into the next year with new funds if necessary. The one thing that's really important to note is that there is a limit to some of those services, because the idea is to try to keep it as equitable as possible and spread out the money as much as we can. At this point, I believe it was only in 2022, the first year, we had to hold those participants and the applicants to the following year just because money was running out. But ever since, it's been going pretty well.
Thank you. Thanks.
Yep. Leighton.
Yes, I would just like to say it's important to note that for many of the people, it was the first time they visited either a dentist or an ophthalmologist. So the money is well used.
Yeah, it's great services. And Jeff, thank you for everybody involved in making these
Thanks,
contracts
Jeff.
happen. Okay, nothing else? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
24-193, resolution of the mayor and council of Princeton authorizing the appointment of Frank Diamore as fire official. And Michelle's got the motion, David's got the second. Questions or comments? Frank's first day is today, or was today. He's at the firehouse every day now. And so anyway, it's a great thing to have a fire official. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
24-194, resolution of the mayor and council authorizing the renewal of alcoholic beverage licenses for the 2024-2025 license term. Leticia's got the motion, Michelle's got the second. Any questions or comments? These are all in order, there's none of these are, okay. Okay, there's a couple still coming. Thanks. Any other questions or comments? If not, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
There's 3 items on the consent agenda. If no one needs those pulled off, we can move those in block if someone would like to do that. Eve, thank you very much. Is there a second? Oh, Michelle, thank you, sorry. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
David,
I move that we adjourn.
is there a second? Yep, plenty of seconds. All in favor, say aye.
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 We are done. Thank you very much. Thanks for being here. Okay.